Hey everybody, Joe here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I built my DIY squat pit for doing belt squats. And I got this idea from a gym I was working out at while I was in between having a home gym. I'll talk about that another time, but I really liked this. It was called a shark pit, and I decided to make my own DIY version of it, which I'm going to show you right now. So I started out with basically a step and a landing like you were building stairs. And I built it out of 2x6 material, so it's very heavy duty. And as you can see, you've got the step, the landing, and then I've got a stabilizer bar here for balance and for helping you to lift. Now for loading it, there's a lot of ways to do it, which I'll show you, but the way I wound up with right now is to use a loading pin and plates, because I'm getting these things on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for about 50 cents a pound. So I've got like about a half a ton of weights that I won't use, but I got a lot of variety so I can change the load a lot. And then I use this pin. I got this one off Amazon just to get something quick. It only holds 225 pounds, but that's plenty for me anyways. So it's got an eyelet on one end and then a flange welded on the other end. You slide the weights on it, and then you just hook up to the eyelet and lift. So this is all setting on a very, very sturdy little what I call a carriage, which I've got on a really simple system to move back and forth. I just use a piece of rope and some eyelets, and it's on really heavy casters. They hold 225 pounds each, so I don't have to worry about it collapsing. And as you can see, the weight will sit on there until you're ready to squat. Then you just pull it aside. It pulls aside okay. It's not super smooth, but it does the job. And it gets it out of the way so you can then go down and dip into the pit. Then when you're done lifting and you want to basically rack the weight so you don't get pinned down into the pit, this is pretty much how it works at the gym. A little different, but then I just pull it back. You just undo this one. It's a lot easier when you don't have a camera in your hand. And you just pull, and it stops like that. See the stops there? And now the weight sits on the carriage, what I call the carriage, and you can safely unload. Let me show you. Okay, first of all, what I'm using is this belt here. You don't have to use this one. You can use any kind. I just got this one because I like that it's comfortable, sturdy, and it's got the chains at 45s hanging off the side instead of the front and down across your crotch. And I just like the way it rides. So you can get whatever belt you want, and you can cinch it up however deep you want. And that's the belt I'm using. So here we go. We'll step into the belt. And I didn't cinch it up real high, the carabiner here, so you're going to see I'm not going to get super depth here, but this is just a demonstration. You can cinch the carabiner up as high as you want. So just get yourself strapped in whatever belt you happen to have. Take your carabiner, and now I'm on this landing here, so I can reach a lot easier to the whatever you hook up to, and you're somewhat extended already, and you can also help with the stabilizer bar to get yourself off the carriage, and then now disconnect this and pull it over, and that's it. Now you're ready to squat down into the pit. So I'll do some squats, and of course when I'm done, I'll just pull it the other direction, and I'll be able to unload. So I'm not going real deep, as you can see. They're not bad, about parallel maybe. Just about. Anyhow, like I said, you can cinch it up as tight as you want and go as deep as you want. So now this is the video from earlier where I just pull this across. This is just so you can see what's happening. Now while I'm standing there, I pull this back under there. Now it's in place, and then I can set the weight down, and then I can step down and safely unhook. And there's one set. Now let's say your collection's not very heavy yet, and you don't have a whole lot of weight. Obviously, you can get creative with this thing. And I'm just doing little sissy ones here. You can do one-legged squats. That's a 40-pound kettlebell there. You hook up, basically whatever, and you can increase the load that way, so you can be creative. And speaking of variations, like that was, something that you could do there, is put this one of these little straps on here and use a kettlebell, for instance. My original idea was to use dumbbells loaded because I was collecting all those plates, and use the same type of strap. This is a cool little strap. So fit guys, and it just, gives you a D-ring to grab stuff with. Pretty cool. I'll leave a link in the description. And of course, nothing that I make would be complete without adding some bands to create more tension, especially at the top and the lockout to make it more difficult, or by themselves. So there are lots of ways to do this. This is not the final iteration of this particular piece of equipment. I'm just tinkering with it, but just to give you guys an idea what I'm doing. I'm not trying to tell you that you should build something like this, but anyways, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.